So for today's review, I'll be doing my first model kit review. So I figured I'd go for a more positive kit to start things off well. And I believe that the kit I've chosen fits the description of a good Gunpla kit perfectly. The one behind. Gundam The Witch from Mercury High Grade Schwarzette. I think that's how I pronounce it. So before I put together the probably German demonic angel, I put together this guy right here, Sinaju. Reason? It looked cool. I despise the build though, mostly attributed to these pipes right here. It's most likely I did something wrong because they just won't stay in place, particularly this one. Just doesn't. And the stickers, they are curved, they are peeling off. Isn't that nice? I just really didn't like it. So, I appreciate the fact that this guy right here, even though it's a high grade, was just a breath of fresh air than the previous build, as it was far simpler and more enjoyable. Nothing went out of their way to annoy me. Everything snapped together. The only hard part was unfortunately self-inflicted, as I pasted all of these stickers right here with my fingers and not with tweezers. I misplaced that. Still, I think they came out quite nicely, and the stickers are also very durable, particularly the ones on the wings right here, well, at least what look like wings. They're actually quite rigid compared to the ones found on the body. Speaking of stickers, you get the choice of either unpowered or powered form. Great, we have the option. I obviously went with more color as this guy would look a bit dull without them. Accessories include something called bit staffs, and if you want an explanation, watch the anime. It's on YouTube. It's free. They can also combine together to form something called Guardian Sheath. Basically a buster sword. You can even pose it to two-handed sword. Neat. Now, don't want a sig blade? You can remove the bit staffs and attach this beam part right here to give a more conventional beam saber, which I will show in 3, 2, 1. There we go. The staffs can then form wings and something called a guardian marionette, which you can see on the instructions here. These are the wing-like structures, which I'm not sure what they are called. They may mention it. And here's the guardian marionette, and he fell down because I accidentally hit it. Anyways, here's a better picture of the Gundam marionette form. It's alright, I guess. Now, you can also do something called a guardian draw, as seen here, but you need a separate display base, which I don't have. Angel wings and buster swords are my favorite modes. And here are my personal wing configurations. As you can see right here, it's definitely not on the instructions, and they plug into these ports right here. Just do this and do this, and there you go. Now he has wings that can flare out as well, and that counts as posability. So let's talk about it. And posability on Gunpla models are always great, this being no exception. We have unrestricted arms that just have the right amount of tightness that allows it to hold the pose but doesn't feel like a pain to actually move it. Head is also very free and can have a bit of expressiveness with some tilting. We also have a very movable body, just doing all of this stuff. It can move it forward and back. Very interesting. Something that I rarely deal with Transformers, because it's very hard for them to actually have those things. And the chunky but flexible legs. Oops. And the chunky but flexible legs that has a surprising amount of articulation for something that doesn't really look like it would. Although if you just do this very sudden, if you do this movement very quickly, you may unplug the legs, because this sort of acts as a bit of, a pivot, I think. The design of the Schwarzette is also interesting and unique. Feet take on a more hooved-like appearance with dark horns sprouting out of it. And then we look at the head, which, as you can see, has both an angelic halo and demonic horns. It feels like the design is conveying the idea that it was built for a more pure purpose, before later on becoming more corrupt. Because what has hooved feet and is bipedal? A demon. A goat demon specifically. And those things have horns. Of course, it isn't. It was always going to be a war machine. But maybe we could look at the pilot's characteristic instead. Sadly, I'm not good enough to figure that out, so forgive me that this is the best I can do. Which brings me to my final points. And that is, this kit here is a great starting point for anyone interested in the Gunpla hobby. Excluding sanding and removing unwanted lines, you can easily build one in an hour or so max. It's sturdy as well, so you can play around with this guy and not worry about anything falling apart other than the legs, but that's if you're too monkey with it. If you're not, it's fine. It also has a reasonable price. So get this if it piques your interest. I hope this video has persuaded you, and see you next time.